So from April of 1991 till July of 1994, there's a show called Dinosaurs that airs. In the show, every so often, the baby Sinclair would be sitting with his dad, Earl Sinclair, and they would be watching their favorite show, Mr. Lizard. And this would happen.
Gee, Mr. Lizard, what should I do with the nitroglycerin?
We're gonna need another Timmy.
Well, Timmy, you just pour it into the blender there while I get behind this lead shield.
Okay. Say it!
We're gonna need another Timmy.
Thus, the phrase, "we're gonna need another Timmy," was born. Flash forward to The Simpsons. And in February of 1997, during its 8th season, the Itchy, Scratchy, and Poochie Show episode airs. And a little bit of background on this episode. Krusty the Clown is threatening to stop broadcasting the Itchy and Scratchy Show because the cartoons causes his ratings to dip. So they decide to create another character. It's a dog who raps and surfs and spits all these nonsensical phrases. His name is Poochie. And Homer gets the job of voicing Poochie. Well, when the episode with Poochie airs, basically the cartoon consists of Poochie spouting off meaningless buzzwords and showing off none of the show's trademark violence, which Itchy and Scratchy is a takeoff of Tom and Jerry, except for it's really violent. We have the rat cutting off the cat's head with a chainsaw and stuff like that. So they decide that they're going to kill off Poochie, but Homer records voice lines trying to save him, and when the episode that Homer thinks is going to save Poochie airs, this happens.
Well, look who's here. Hi, Poochie. You look like you've got something to say. Do you?
Yes, I certainly do.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
Thus, a character just ups and vanishes without no real explanation. It's something that I've called getting poochied. I don't know if that's the actual term for it, but let's fast forward to last night's Yellowstone. Actually, before we get to last night's episode, there's been a lot of cases of characters getting poochied on Yellowstone. This is why the title of this podcast is called "We're Gonna Need Another Poochie," because, let's start with the supposed love triangle. Remember Avery? Avery was a ranch hand, the first female ranch hand that was introduced, I believe, in season 1, and then she abruptly leaves and is never seen again until last season, when Casey all of a sudden gets a phone call that he needs to go, retrieve some stolen horses. And, let's let Yellowstone explain this to you, because they did a whole video of this on their YouTube channel explaining the supposed love triangle that is going to happen between Casey, Avery, and Monica. Let's cut to this clip.
You busy today?
Depends on how quick we find those horses.
So you're working for Miss Poundy Lives?
Fine. I'll just work cases for ugly women from here on out.
Oh, so you think she's pretty?
Walked right into that one, Dad.
Casey gets called to the res. There's been some horses stolen. Lo and behold, the house that he goes to is where Avery lives.
Hey.
Hey.
Avery has caught some feels for him, and maybe has had some feels for him for a minute.
Somebody point me to an empty bunk.
From my impression, it's almost like she developed these feelings for this man and it couldn't work out, so she went back to her family.
Here, I thought you were just a cowboy.
You ready, baby?
Monica's not super happy about the way that Avery seems to treat Casey.
Pretty good looking wrangler. Monica gets a little jelly.
Not my type, baby.
Oh, yeah? Tall, thin, long black hair, brown eyes. Yep, not your type. It's really the first time that you've seen this side of her, which is just so much fun to play, honestly. It's a little bit of comic relief, I guess, in this very dark world.
Why can't you sleep?
So I'm thinking about your little bitch in the tank top.
It becomes clear to him that, okay, there is something going on there, and I need to kind of be careful around this person.
I'm married.
I noticed.
He has other priorities, as he should. Monica, which Avery does not like.
Can't be love. God wouldn't let you love something you can't love it back.
Yeah, he would.
Casey kind of opens up that vulnerable side. Anything can happen. I don't know, but I know it's gonna be interesting.
And do you think that love triangle happened? Do you think anything has come out of it so far? No, not a gosh darn thing has happened. Not a single thing. Avery got poochied. She is never to be seen from again. Why? Because Casey goes and starts seeing wolves. And Casey goes on a total stereotypical vision quest with the Indians. It's stupid. So that makes, right there, one character that got poochied. Then we fast forward to Jamie and his kid and his wife, girl, whatever. She's introduced at the beginning of season 5, I believe, or at the end of season 4. She's introduced earlier on in the series as Jamie's campaign manager for Attorney General. And then all of a sudden, her and Jamie start having a, a a relationship. She gets pregnant. She can't stand the fact that Jamie goes back to his father, and she leaves. Okay, fast forward about 3 more seasons. Jamie's father finds her, digs her up, and all of a sudden here she is with this kid. And Beth gets word that Jamie now has a son, and this happens.
Do you have a child, Jamie?
A boy.
You have my womb cut out of me? And God gave you a boy?
So Beth confronts Jamie about this, and even it's not shown in that clip, but even goes far as to say, I'm going to make your life a living hell. I'm going to get that kid taken away from you. You'll never know the kid. You'll never know what it's like to be a father, Jamie. Well, do we find out anything about that? No, because about 2 or 3 episodes later, his new love interest gets introduced, and we never hear from the ex or the kid again. They get poochied. That's right, we're gonna need another Poochie. Well, last night we got another Poochie. Remember how in my last review of season 5, episode 9, I talked about Piper Parabo's character? The radical hippie who John Dutton fell in love with or was at least screwing around with for a little while? Well, now that John's dead, I said last week, what about her? What about her character? I thought she got poochied then. No, they wait till now to poochie her. We're gonna need another poochie. Cue Piper Parabo's character, because guess what? Beth walks downstairs and discovers she's in the living room, and in true Beth bitch fashion, basically tells her, you have no reason to be here anymore. Goodbye, you're gone. And then says, I'm going to drive you to the barn, and you're going to ask one of the ranch hands for a ride to the airport. And then Rip takes her to the airport. She tells Rip, hey, I'm going to miss working with you guys. I'm going to miss seeing you guys work. I fell in love with this place. I went from being very, very against it to now I see the beauty in it. And you think that Rip would offer her a job because she has nowhere else to go? You think Beth might even show a little bit of a heart and say, hey, why don't we hire you on as a ranch hand? Why don't we show you what this place really does? No, that doesn't happen at all. Piper Parabo's character, even though she's shown some growth, we're going to kill it and we're going to Poochie her. We're going to drop her off at the airport and, we're going to need another Poochie. So they just drop her off at the airport and she'll never be seen again. This is wrong. This is stupid. This happens way too much on this show. And there's other continuity errors last night with this show. Rip lying in bed with Beth. We're going to get to the big thing in a minute. Rip lying in bed with Beth. Here we are 6 weeks in the past again. And he goes, this is the first time I've ever been outside the state of Montana. No, it's not. No, it's not. Just at the end of the mid-season finale of this season, we show you getting the brand, and we show them showing Rip the train station. Where's the train station located? Just over the border in Wyoming. So yes, you have been out of the state of Montana, Rip. Again, another continuity error. And people are going to nitpick. Why are you nitpicking this show? Why are you tearing it apart? That's something minor. It doesn't matter. It does matter. It does matter from a character standpoint. I don't care how many rattlesnakes' heads this dude steps on. The dude doesn't know where he's been in life. It's stupid writing. It's careless writing. Thoughtless, non-continuity writing. It's horrible. Horrible. Now the big thing. The big thing last night. What did I stress over in the last review? 3 different times within 5 minutes of or 15-minute period of the show. I'll say 15 minutes because broad strokes, but whatever. 3 different people from the 4-6s come up to Rip and go, you're going to get sick of those teepees. Those teepees, 20-mile-an-hour winds and snakes and everything else. What is the very first thing that happens in this episode, besides another boring montage of over a boring country song? What do we have? My favorite character, or my second favorite character in the show, Teeter, I thought they were going to kill her off. I really thought they were going to kill her off. I was worried. They did put some doubt into my head at that point. They have a rattlesnake invasion because they put the teepees on top of a rattlesnake bed. Yeah, we're going to be real safe inside those teepees. And then they try to explain it the fact of, she didn't zip up her teepee. Well, that doesn't matter because then they lift one of the teepees completely up off the ground and there's rattlesnakes everywhere. They put him on top of an old prairie dog den that has now been taken over by rattlesnakes, and everybody's finding rattlesnakes. And Rip's got to be Rip. Beef, it's what's for dinner, Rip. We got to have Rip be a tough old cowboy. Get out an actual gun or rifle and shoot the rattlesnakes. No, chop their heads off with a shovel. No, we can just step on them. God, the plot armor that they have around these characters. We can't make Rip vulnerable for one goddamn minute. One goddamn minute. He just happens to catch a rattlesnake by the throat without it biting him. Come on. Here's a guy who's never been out of the state of Montana. Yeah, Montana can have rattlesnakes, but here's a guy who's never been to Texas. How would he know how to handle one of these things? I mean, he must have had to handle a lot of rattlesnakes up there in Montana. Come on. Come on. And then they make Teeter go in there. I'll give them credit for this. You're gonna fuck up. You're gonna pay the price for it. I don't care if you're a woman or not. You go back in your tent and you check and see if there's more of them. And sure enough, she finds more rattlesnakes in there, and everybody starts finding rattlesnakes. And the only good part of this is Gator going, these are real good if you cook them up, which there are people, I just happen to be in Texas when I'm recording this. There are people down here that do rattlesnake chili, and they fry rattlesnake and eat rattlesnake. You'll never catch me eating one of them sons of guns. But anyway, gator is probably one of the best parts of this show. But the writing of this show. The writing of this show. It's just like, as long as we play country music and show them riding horses, they'll eat what we feed them. And you people are stupid enough for 5 seasons now to eat what they fed you. Even though the continuity sucks, the writing sucks, the logic sucks, the plot armor is heavily sucky. I mean, this whole show, I don't get how it's a massive hit. I really don't. Oh, speaking of non-continuity, Casey was just seeing wolves again in the last episode, but now he's back to being Casey again. In a complete U-turn, we're back to having badass Casey again. And even though Monica hates the lodge and hates staying up at the main house of the ranch, Casey says, "Would you please come with me anyway?" After she asks him, "Hey, do you want me to go?" He goes, "Yeah, because we can't have an episode of Yellow Season without Monica being depressed." So, I mean, this is constant bullcrap with this show. We can't have a season without Monica going where she doesn't want to go and being depressed. I had all this. Poochie returns because now he's calling his war buddy. Remember in season 1? How Casey was going to go back to being a member of the military or go to being a mercenary. So he calls a buddy of his up to ask if he could get him back in, and the buddy's like, "Sure, give me a call." Well, Casey decides, "No, I'm not going to abandon my family. I'm not going to do that." Well, here we are. He calls the, here we are 5 seasons in. He calls the Merc buddy up again, who has not been seen until now. I guess Poochie came back from his home planet for a change. And the mercenary guy is back, and he's going to help Jamie find out who killed his dad. I actually like this. It actually makes a little bit of sense. Casey's got to go back into badass military mode, and, it fits. Even though another example of being Poochied, whatever happened to the people who stole the dinosaur bones? We never got any kind of daggone payoff for that. The dinosaur bones got Poochied. We're gonna need another Poochie! Ugh. Golly, this season. This show. Oh, and here's another one. Beth smacks the shit out of Jamie, throws his now girlfriend first up against the wall in front of God and everybody. They say, "Call the police." Jamie quickly, "No, don't call the police." Why wouldn't you call the police, you stupid moron? If I'm writing this show, yes, I have them call the police. I have her get arrested yet again. Because here it is now again, she's getting arrested for assault. So instead of the community service and everything, guess what they're going to do to Beth? "Oh, you can't seem to keep your hands off people. Maybe we need to teach you a lesson." And they're going to lock her up, and that benefits Jamie and this other chick, Sarah, because now she's out of our way. Nope. Just let her go. Just let her go. Let her go. Let her go. Let her go. Because the plot armor, don't you know? Ah. Anyway, folks, let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments below. We'll see you down the road. We're going to need another Poochie.